but the way we've done it this way, the way we've done it this week, is the way we've done it before. Hori comes up with a character. I then try and think of someone to go up against them for a fairish fight. Hori chose Bane.
Yes, DC's Bane, and we're going to go with comic book Bane, who's juiced.
Comic book Bane, who is juiced and tanned and fucking brilliantly smart. You know, he might be the most difficult person to come up with an even fight against. He either smokes everyone or gets smoked.
I'm fine.
You know what? You know what?
Oh,
we're gonna go with Gambit from from Marvel's X-Men. Obviously, it's comic book version because that thing we saw in X-Men Origins Wolverine is not Gambit. So yeah, we're gonna go with
X-Men
Gambit.
Origins.
So Bane is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And it really breaks my heart how a lot of, I don't want to call them fringe fans because it sounds like I'm belittling them. Visual media fans view Bane as kind of a brainless monster.
Yeah.
Who's just like almost like a cheap Hulk. Some people kind of view him as, which wasn't helped by the Batman and Robin film with Poison Ivy and Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze, and that version of Bane didn't help at all. Christopher Nolan's was better, but we also didn't see how ridiculously wham he was.
Yeah, it gave us a military tactical Bane, but not juiced.
So, although Bane is a Batman villain, he's also not really that much of a villain. I call him more of like an almost anti-hero, because at times he's like worried about the community and stuff, but he's still a criminal. And he's come from a pretty rough upbringing. Obviously, that doesn't excuse murder and stuff, but just like you get my point. So, but he's ridiculously intelligent, can be very compassionate, the absolute strategic mastermind, very controlled and steady in everything. He just also happens to be addicted to steroids on super soldier serum that is venom.
Yeah.
Which is what makes him such a formidable foe, because he's got the brains to like concoct plans that Batman's going to struggle with, and then the brawn to execute them himself.
Yeah, He makes the plan, then he leads the plan.
Exactly. If you want something done right, do it yourself.
Exactly.
Whereas I've already forgotten. Gambit. There we go. You got Gambit, who, I'm going to be honest, a lot of my knowledge of him comes from the 90s X-Men cartoon. And you know what? If you're not okay with that, you probably haven't even made it this far into the podcast. He's got his pole, he's got his deck of playing cards that he can supercharge. But I've never really got the impression Gambit's particularly smart. He's not like thick as shit, but he's not the intelligence.
I get the sense that Gambit is more sort of that street smart and more just like trickery.
Exactly. He's not gonna concoct a master plan, but he's also not gonna fall into a fucking cut out bit of grass with leaves on top.
Down here.
So I think on a actual fighting level, it would be pretty even. I think the problem Gambit has is just how smart Bane is.
Don't get me
wrong.
I go with the sense of like Gambit would probably just be so. He'd go in very chaotic in a sense, like less of like Bane has a very strict. Will have probably a strict plan and idea of what he has to do. Gambit will just be like, hell to the wall. Like, let's just see what happens, sort of thing. And that might, I guess, catch Bane off a bit. But yeah, I think Bane's very intelligent.
I think the only chance Gambit really has is if he gets a little bit lucky early on and catches one of the venom pipes and notices the negative effect that has on Bane and realizes that he needs to target it.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't work that out quick enough, he's in a real dangerous situation.
Yeah, I feel like he would go in so kind of like almost chaotic and just no plan to see what the fuck happens. And if, like you say, if he gets lucky and kind of in a way accidentally figures out, oh shit, I just need to get rid of these things, then he'll kind of be like, okay, I'll focus on that. Sure.
Exactly. But there's no way you can deny that he needs a little bit of luck to get through this.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure if he would think to do some damage to his hardware without a little accidental nick.
Yeah, I feel like he'd start off the fight just trying to be purely annoying.
Yeah.
And irritating to Bane. And then, if anything, that's just going to make Bane get annoyed quicker and then be like, in a way, then be smarter because he's going to be like, this needs dealing with it. And put him in a bad spot. So,
coincidentally, how annoying Gambit is why I think I'd play such a good version of him. But yeah, no, I can definitely see a world where Gambit manages to win because mutants are nothing if not like troublesome.
Yeah.
But Bane is very powerful and very intelligent. And if he gets deep enough into the fight before Gambit realizes to go for the apparatus and stuff, I think it's one of these ones that very quickly it goes one way or the other.
Yeah.
Either Gambit works out quite quickly that he needs to stop that green shit that this big fucker's pumping into his body, or Bane goes...
Yeah. It's like a sense of like Bane starts to figure out how he's moving around and he's like, oh, okay, and then ends up just getting hold of him and just destroying him.
Exactly. I don't think Gambit's nonchalantness towards everything in life helps him in this situation.
I don't think so.
I think that's part of the reason he doesn't end up getting the lucky shot. I want to go like a 65-70 Bane. I can definitely see a world where Gambit wins this fight, but it's not happening super regularly.
I'd go slightly more in favor of Bane.
You guys 70-75?
Yeah, like 80-20 is like what I'm thinking. I think it's just
I see that.
Most of the time, Bane's just going to like figure him out and just like Gambit's going to be too nonchalant, like too cocky and whatever about stuff. But then there's like 20% of the time, like, yeah, he gets lucky and figures out, oh, this is easier than I thought, or this is how I do it. And I think that's how it goes.
Couldn't agree more. I did enjoy that one though. When you said Bane, he told me just before we started recording so that I had some time to think of something. And you said that, and I almost swore at you instantly and went, fuck, that's going to be really difficult. Because like I said, for most characters, Bane is either stomps or gets stomped.
Yeah.
But I think Gambit was a decent enough fight. I think any more powerful mutant stomps him. Any less powerful mutant gets stomped, and mutants are, for the most part, the best place to look in Marvel for a hero, just because there's so many really good ones.
Yeah. I think you chose a good one with purely for the fact of like the character, like what Gambit is like as a personality and in the way he is.
Yeah.
Kind of gives him that unknown edge on if he's going to succeed or not.
Do you know what it is? If you put a slightly more responsible brain in Gambit's body, he's probably then going to stomp Bane because he knows to fucking deal with the apparatus. But the guy's going to go in there cracking jokes. He's probably going to go with his pole first and try and donk him on the head or something. Do you know, like, it's probably only like the third time he gets thrown into the wall he even thinks he's using his superpowers.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, no, I actually quite enjoyed that. I've got an X-Men comic that I'm waiting to start, and I'm very excited.